There might be some of you that are a little confused right now because I technically already made this video, kind of. I had already talked about this track today being the same track from 2007 Orlando. And I did, but I left out one pretty major thing, especially for me. I can't believe that I left this out. Something happened with my memories and I got years mixed up a little bit. I thought that this had happened in 2008. Don't know why. Definitely didn't. And if I would have just watched the 250 races from 2007 Orlando, I would have 100% remembered this. The big detail that I left out of the last one is that in 2007 Orlando, my older brother raced, and that's where he just kind of demolished his leg. So this track is an exact replica of the track that my brother got a pylon fracture of his tib and fib on. And it wasn't just him that got hurt on this track. This track was not the best track if you were a 250 privateer. So to give some context into why this track was not a good track for a lot of 250 riders, was that year they had built that track. I think my brother said before Daytona. Let me look. I've been texting him a little bit to see. I've been texting him a little bit to get a few of the details. So yeah, he said that they built the track 2 weeks early in order to build Daytona. So the track was built and was sitting there for a long time. I believe that there had been some rain in those 2 weeks. They didn't have the track covered, and it caused the dirt at all the tops of the jumps to settle into the bottom. So what it affected most of all was the triple, was that before the whoop section, because it ended up being way too mellow and not having any lift at all. So 14 years ago, 250 bikes were pretty terrible compared to bikes now. Didn't have much power. They were not fuel injected. They would bog a lot. They weren't good bikes when it comes to the motor. And when it comes to a Supercross triple with a bike like that, you need quite a bit of a face on it. You need it a bit steeper, or else you're not going to make it over. And that's what happened to a lot of riders, including my older brother, is that they didn't get the lift coming off the triple that they needed, and they came up short, and it was game over after that. So during practice, my brother broke his leg. I'm pretty sure dude broke his back. In the first heat, there was quite a bit of carnage, and then obviously in the 250 main, there was a red flag because something happened on that triple that caused, I'm pretty sure, Matt Gerke to go into the other side of the track, into the whoops, or at least his bike did, hit Dungey, jack up Dungey's bike, where after the red flag, Dungey couldn't line up for the main and had a DNS. So in my last video that has since, it's not on the internet anymore, I had thought that it was a cool idea that Dirt Wurx was bringing a track back that they had previously used. And in these kind of injuries, maybe one of the worst nights in 250 Supercross history as far as injuries go, was overlooked because it was Carmichael's last race. And even in my mind, my older brother got hurt in this race, and I even kind of forgot, because 2007 Orlando ended up having one of the best 450 races kind of ever. I feel bad that I forgot that it was that race, and I, for some reason, thought it was 2008. I guess it's still cool that they're doing this replica track to Carmichael's last race. I'm sure that they're going to build it correctly this time. There is rain in the forecast, so who knows, it could be mud. Hopefully it's not a treacherous track like it was in 2007, at least for 250 guys. And yeah, I said this in the last video, that the 450 main is one of my favorite races ever. I still stand by that. It was insane how fast Stewart and Carmichael especially were going. So I'll put a link in the description again to that 450 main. I will also put a link in the description of the 250 whole night program. The 250 video is pretty bad. it's not good quality at all. I'm sure you saw it in this video already, but I'll still leave it in the description. In the previous video, that is gone, I also said that I feel like maybe Dirt Wurx should keep trying to do what they did with this and maybe bring some popular tracks from the past back. Having to design 16 rounds every year because they don't design Daytona has to be quite the effort. You know that tracks are going to get a little bit bland because they have to design so many. So bring back some tracks from the past like this one. Hopefully build them correctly this time. Maybe have riders design some tracks again like years past they've done before. Yeah, I'm sure that it's going to be talked a lot about this track being the replica of Carmichael's last race in Supercross. I'm sure Carmichael himself is going to talk about it quite a bit, but I know for a fact that the treacherousness of the track for the 250 riders that year and that night is going to be way overlooked. So I thought I'd give a little bit of insight into some of the secret stories, not secret stories, overlooked stories that people don't want to know about, that people don't want to talk about. Oh yeah, and I didn't say this. I'm pretty sure I remember there was something, I think Chad Reed might have even crashed on that jump, and he told Dirt Wurx to fix the jump. It took Reed telling Dirt Wurx to fix the jump for them to actually fix it. They didn't really care much about riders getting hurt to actually fix the jump. And it's just crazy that you can even tell the factory guys were having a hard time getting over it because they were coming out of the corner and seat bouncing it as hard as they could. I can't imagine how hard it would have been on a privateer bike in 2007. Let me see if I'm missing any details. Yeah, my brother and his friend that both raced it, they just said that pretty much practice was rough. Heat 1 was carnage. The main was carnage. And yeah, it was probably one of the worst nights ever when it comes to injuries in Supercross. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. I knew it, and I completely forgot about it for some reason. I thought it was 2008. I should have recognized the track if I would have watched the 250s, like I said, and saw the carnage and saw the wrecks. I would have known 100% that this track was the one that caused my brother to have a pretty bad injury. So yeah, that's why my previous video is no longer on the internet. Let's hope that this race, 2021 Orlando 1, with the same track layout, doesn't go like 2007 Orlando did. This is a pretty weird track, actually, now that I think about it, to bring back